like individuals, the people of this planet, just human evolution in general. People. And just to say the word people, right? That's carving out someone as if like an identity. I don't even honestly feel um anyone has even tapped in that deeply to become a full person. So a lot of individuals are living in such deep fear, right? Such such deep lowness and insecurities that they think that their standards is actually a form of having an awareness for their self-worth. And I've studied a lot of individuals and I studied a lot of standards and I asked questions and I went deeper to try to understand exactly how they identify their worth, how they identify themselves. First off, knowing your worth doesn't mean you you know better. Worth has nothing to do with you knowing better or you feeling like you're not going to make the same mistakes because you learned lessons. It has nothing to do with knowing your worth. So when I've observed and studied and asked questions of these individuals, and I see they identify their worths with by them thinking that they stop certain behaviors, that's them being aware of their worth. They have no clue what their worth is. When they only basing their worth on what they think is changed behavior. So they think by setting up a standard is them knowing their worth and they're not tolerating the same thing. Well, that standard that they're setting for themselves actually already proves that they don't have no clue of their worth. And that standard, let me correct that. The standard that they setting towards others, because they don't set a standard towards themselves, that proves that they are totally clueless of their worth. See, when you set a standard, there's nothing to do with anyone else. It's solely based upon your own interaction and inner communication within you or outside of you. It has nothing to do with anyone else. And by you living and fulfilling your standard, you won't need to set a standard because you'll be the standard. Now, there's a difference between knowing your worth and being your worth. So, my observation of many things on this planet and studying of nature and all the different species, the only species that's so undeveloped is basically individuals. The human being. Not even a human being. That word, that whole word, it's not even really addressed because a being means interdimensional. So it's just human. You don't even get the full being. But the human being is the one that's undeveloped. The human that hasn't fully deformed or fully even observed their own deformities and deformed into it so then they could be informed about it and take it to another level. They're the only species that I've observed that hasn't developed. They're still living in a lower realm, even lower than any creature that's walking on all fours. Their whole existence is based on them finding someone else to complete them. And instead of them finding things to make themselves complete or doing things to make themselves complete, they're basing it on how someone else can make them feel, and then that makes them feel complete instead of already being complete when they meet that someone else. So the standard that they're setting for themselves is actually a setup for themselves where they end up setting themselves up back in the same situations that they swore they wouldn't be in again. Don't they all say that? Oh, I'm not going to do this again. End up back in it again, right? And that's what happens. Because you set yourself up by thinking you can outdo your old self, by thinking you're better than your old self, by thinking you can outsmart your old self, by thinking you have more wisdom than your old self. You're completely clueless if you believe that. So the message I wanted to get out today is don't be afraid. We can't even talk about afraid. I think it's not even fair. Because to me, fear could be an honorable thing. It could be a very motivating, grand thing. So it's not even afraidness or fear, any of those things. It's just habit. They're so used to settling and being insecure to the point where it's not even an insecurity anymore. It's not an insecurity anymore. It's who they are at this point. So this conversation evolved from me wanting to talk about the undevelopedness, the insecurities, and the emptiness of individuals, to now me saying that there is none of that. That's just who they are at this point. And it's so deadly to a point where they don't even realize it. They don't even see it. And I know how the story plays out. It's played out so many times. It's playing out currently. And the days are coming. The days are here, where you're going to realize all the great things that was in your life, that was there to make you greater and take you to another level. I'm not talking about just good things. I'm not talking about the things that just made you feel good or did things that was convenient for you. So you felt like it was something good. You felt like it was something great. I'm talking about something truly great that changed your whole perspective on everything. It was so refreshing. It was so unbelievable that it was too good to be true. I'm talking about that type of situation. And you're going to realize that you should have took that chance. Because everything that all your standards, all your wisdom, everything that you thought that was good for you, that was on your side, so it won't leave you. And the place that you was trying to avoid the most, you'll be forced there to stay there for eternity, and that's loneliness. Because you had so much of what you really needed in your life come in your life, and you turned it down.